There couldn't be a more relevant time to talk about Lord of the Rings. Yes, right in the middle of 2018, 4 years after the final Middle-earth movie came out, there could be no more relevant time to talk about Lord of the Rings. Well, today I'm talking about Lord of the Rings. Because I can. Alright, so I figured I'd talk about the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy because I was planning, alright, so that new movie Mortal Engines that comes out this December, I was thinking, I'm going to review that, I'm going to review the Lord of the Rings trilogy when that movie comes out. Then I realized that I'd rather review all the Spider-Man movies that week because Mortal Engine comes out on the same week as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, so I'd rather review all the Spider-Man movies than review Lord of the Rings movies, just because it'd be more relevant. So I was like, hey, I need to review Lord of the Rings one day. So now I'm going to review the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I'm going to review the Hobbit trilogy. So yeah, Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. So Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring is the first installment in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the installment of a 3-hour movie into a trilogy that I believe adds up to 10 hours of content. In this movie, we see that Bilbo from The Hobbit has kept a ring that he found in The Hobbit for so long, and now Gandalf has come and he's saying, hey, you know, we should give that ring to Frodo. That ring needs to be destroyed because it's bad and stuff. There we go, you got your movie. Now, I think this parallel happens with The Hobbit as well, which I have a confession. I actually watched the Hobbit trilogy before watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so I might have. But I saw both of them a while ago. Back in 2014, I wasn't a giant movie fan. In fact, it was only until 2015 when I started watching more movies. 2016, I watched a lot of movies. 2017, I watched less movies. And then 2018, I just picked back up and now I make a channel. And when Lord of the Rings, when I watched the first Lord of the Rings, I was astonished. I thought the Hobbit movies were great. I thought the first one was great. The second one was great. I never liked the third one until I rewatched it. But then I watched this one, and then I was like, this is amazing. There's just one thing. The CGI in this film is amazing. It came out in 2000. Or 2001, I believe. CGI back in 2001 wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. If you were to make a movie back then, it would look outdated today. But no, this movie looks like it came out this year. The CGI is amazing. And it's also just a great movie. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring is amazing, and it's a fantastic movie that's impossible to review because I have no problems with this movie. It's awesome, and I love it. Because The Fellowship of the Ring, while I do actually have one problem, but I'm going to kind of ignore it, is that it is a bit boring. It's like maybe I give it like an 8 out of 10 at the beginning, then later it picks back up and it becomes awesome and fun and good. It's just the most slow of any of the Lord of the Rings movies. And which is why I think that they get better and better and better because they get progressively more, just more action and more action. And with the second installment, we have more action than the first one. But I love this movie. It's just first off, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Ring, I am actually reading. I'm reading it for the first time right now. And with The Fellowship of the Ring, the thing is that the book so far is really good. But I think that the books, from what I've heard, are astonishingly great books. And when you translate them to movies, they're even better. Guys, overall, The Fellowship of the Ring is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's awesome, it's exciting, it's just good, it's visually amazing, it's just great in every way. This is the first installment into a trilogy of just amazingness, where I almost, every once in a while, just make a favorite. I just don't know which one's my favorite, which I do. Now I think that they get progressively better and better, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to give Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, a 10. It's a Fellowship of the Ring, you know. If they get better and better and better, now you know my ratings of the other two. Alright, so what's your ranking of the Lord of the Rings movies? Let me know in the comment section below. I do not believe that your ranking is going to be different than mine. I'll get an Overboard review out to you guys soon. A Three Identical Strangers review out to you guys soon. I've mentioned this already. I might get Crazy Rich Asians out to you guys. Alpha. Yeah, that's kind of the next week or so. Yep. See you guys next time.